Hey bitches, so you're missing a few Ashes of War and don't know where they are? Well, I got you covered. So there's 91 Ashes of War to find within Elden Ring. So I'm going to show you where you can find them and give a basic showcase of what they look like. I'll also be covering on where you can find some lost Ashes of War so you can duplicate your favourite ashes to use in all your weapons. So catch that at the end of the guide. So guys, let me know if you find this guide useful and would like to see more of this by liking, commenting and subscribing, as it helps a lot with the channel and lets me know that you guys want more. Before we start, I'm also going to mention that there's a couple of merchants that you can buy multiple ashes from. First is Knight Banal, and he can be loaded at the War Master's Shack or the Volcano Manor. The second is Sorcerer Roger in Stormvale Castle, and then can be found at the Round Table. So when I refer to these NPCs, you know where to find them. As I mentioned before, there are 90 ashes, and I am going to go in order of how they appear in your inventory, so you can easily see if you're missing any. First of all, the skills is the Stamp Uppercut, and is found with the merchant Knight Banal, and you can get this at either location. Second is the Stamp Sweep, and is obtained by a scarab on the beaches of Western Limgrave. Third is the Ash of War Wild Strikes, and is dropped by a scarab in Limgrave on the path to Stormvale Castle. Fourth Ash is the Lion's Claw, and is dropped by the Lion Guardian at Fort Gale, west of Khalid. Fifth is the Cragblade Ash, and is dropped by another scarab in Khalid, just west of the impassable Great Bridge Grace. The sixth Ash of War is a kick and can be purchased from Knight Banal at both locations. The seventh Ash Endure is also purchased from Banal at both locations. Eighth Ash of War is the Ground Slam, and is dropped by a scarab in Mistwood, east of Limgrave. The 9th Ash is Earthshaker and is found just south of the Altus Highway Junction, along the main path. It will be invisible, moving slowly, noticeable by a cloud of dirt. The 10th is Horah Earthshaker. It can be attained by killing Godfrey and acquiring his remembrance to trade with the Finger Maiden at the Round Table. The next Ash of War is a Walk Ride and can be purchased from Knight Banal in both locations. Twelfth Ash is another Raw Ash, Barbaric Roar. It is dropped by a scarab and is located at the ravine of Wild Village. The 13th Ash of War is Braggarts Roar and can be swapped out of the weapon that Blackguard Big Boggart drops during his questline or upon killing him. 14th Ash, the Troll's Roar, is located in the mountaintops of the Giants. The 15th, Spinning Slash, can be purchased by Knight Banal. The 16th Ash, Impaling Thrust, can also be purchased from Knight Banal. The 17th Ash, Piercing Fang, is acquired by Urya the Bloody Finger Hunter. His weapon drops during his questline or upon killing him. If you kill him, you might have to check out his other locations for the weapon drop. The 18th is Repeating Thrust, Ash of War, and is dropped by the Knight Cavalry that hangs around the bridge in Limgrave. The 19th Ash is Double Slash, and is dropped by a Scarab in Celia, Town of Sorcery in Khalid. The 20th Ash of War is a sort of dance, and is found in Livonia down a side path near the Minor Erd tree. The 21st Ash of War Unsheathe is dropped by a scarab in the Lake of Limgrave. The 22nd is Quickstep and is purchased from Knight Brunel. The 23rd is a fan favourite Bloodhounds Step and is dropped by a Knight Cavalry on the Ridge in Khalid. The 24th Ash of War, Raptor of the Mist, is given to you by Uria's questline, so you must be able to access Araya Lucuria to get his Ash. The 25th is Beast Roar and is given to you via trading your 4th Death Root with Garon at the Bestial Sanctum. Square Up is a 26 Ash and is dropped by a Scarab in Saphira River. The 27th Ash of War is charged 4th and is found hanging on under a bridge west of the Academy Gate town. 28th Ash Spinning Strikes is dropped from an NPC invader in Gar and will need to progress the storyline for him to appear at the Ranger's Shack. The 29th is Giant Hunt and is dropped by a Knight's Cavalry in northern Lemuria. Stormblade is the 30th Ash and can be purchased from Knight Banal in both locations. The 31st Ash is Storm Assault, and is dropped by a Teardrop Scarab in Stormvale Castle. The 32nd Ash of War is Stormcaller and is dropped by a Scarab across the secluded Cellgrace in Stormvale Castle. The 33rd Ash of War is Stomp and is found at Gatefront Ruins and obtainable from a chest. The 34th Ash is the Vacuum Slice Ash of War, and is found inside a temple in Deeproot Depths. 35th Asher War is the Phantom Slash and is dropped by a Knight's Cavalry in the Forbidden Lands, which is along the way to Mountaintops of the Giants, and only appears at night. Determination is the 36th Asher War and is dropped by a Scarab on the bridge north of Agio Lake and Unonia. The 37th Ash is Royal Knight's Resolve and is found in Volcano Manor. The 38th, the Glintstone Pebble, and can be bought from Sorcerer Roger. The 39th is the Glintblade Phalanx Ash and is obtainable after you have defeated Godric and talk to Roger. He will give you his weapon and you can swap the ash off of it. The 40th is another magic type ash, the Carian Greatsword, and is purchased from Roger. The 41st is a stronger version of the Carian Greatsword, the Carian Grandeur. It is found by jumping down some cliffs from the Carian Manor upper levels. The 42nd Ash of War's spinning weapon is purchased from Sorcerer Roger. The 43rd Ash is Lorettas Slash, and is obtained by defeating Loretta at Courier Manor. Waves of Darkness is the 44th Ash and is obtained by defeating Astel and trading their remembrance with the Finger Maiden at the Round Table. The 45th Ash of War is Gravitas and is dropped by an enemy that uses the moveset and is found in Limgrave, accessed by using Torrent. The 46th Ash Flaming Strike is dropped by a Scarab at Redmane Castle in Khalid. Flame of the Redmanes is the 47th Ash of War and is dropped by a Scarab near Fort Gale in Khalid. The 48th Ash is Eruption and is available from Knight Bernal when you visit him in Volcano Manor. The 49th Ash is Prelates Charge and is dropped by a Scarab in the mountaintops of the Giants. The 50th Ash of War Black Flame Tornado is obtained by killing the Godskin Duo boss in Farum Azula. The 51st Ash, a Thunderbolt, is dropped by a Scarab in the Royal Capital. The 52nd Ash of War, Lightning Slash, is also dropped by a Scarab just outside the capital outskirts. Lightning Ramp is the 53rd Ash of War and is dropped by a Scarab just south of the Sainted Hero's grave. The 54th Ash of War, Sacred Blade, is found north of the 3rd Church of Marika and dropped by a Scarab. The 55th Ash, Prayerful Strike, is dropped by a Scarab that is located in a lake in Atlas Plateau.
Bruh.
Sacred Ring of Light is the 56th Ash of War and is dropped by a Scarab located in the swamps of Khalid. The 57th Ash, Sacred Order, is dropped by a Scarab in Atlas Plateau. 57th Asher War Sacred Order is located near the Altus Highway Junction at night and dropped by a Knight's Cavalry. The 59th is a Golden Land Ash and is dropped by a scarab located in Deep Root Depths. The 60th Asher War Golden Slam is dropped by another scarab northwest of Woodfolk Ruins near the Altus Plateau Minor Tree. The 61st Asher War Golden Vow is dropped by a knight on horseback in Limgrave. As the 62nd Asher War, the Vow of the Indomitable is dropped by a scarab in the southwest swampy area of the lake. The ground is the 63rd Ash and is given to you by making the Sentinels crash into each other by completing the trap in the dungeon of Azura Hura's grave. The 64th Asher War is Poisonous Mist and is dropped by a scarab in the swamps of Khalid. The 65th Ash is Poison Moth Flight, and also located in Khalid at nighttime and dropped by a Knight's Cavalry. The 66th Ash is a Bloodblade and is dropped by a scarab located in a pond in Altus Plateau. Bloody Slash is 67 Ash and is dropped by a night enemy in Fort Height. The 68th Asher Roar Blood Tax is located in Mogwai Dynasty and dropped by a Scarab. The 69th Ash Seppuku is found in the mountaintops of the Giants and is dropped by a Scarab. The 70th Asher Roar is Ice Bear and is found at night by the Gatetown Bridge Grace, dropped by a Knight's Cavalry. The 71st Ash is Chilling Mist and is dropped by a Scarab hiding in the ruins near Renner's Rise. You can access this area once you've gone through Courier Manor. The 72nd Ash is Horah Stomp and is also found near the Courier Manor, just west of it in the lake. The 73rd Asher Roar is Spectral Lance and is dropped by a Scarab in Rhea Lucuria. The 74th Ash Lifesteal Fist is located in Khalid and dropped by another Scarab. The 75th Ash White Shadows lore is located in the consecrated snowfields and is dropped by a Scarab that is chased by wolves. Assassin's Gambit is the 76th Ash of War and is purchased from Knight Branagh when you visit him in Volcano Manor. The 77th Ash, Mighty Shot, is dropped by a scarab in the Weeping Peninsula. The 78th Ash of War, through and through, is a bit outside of Volcano Manor and is dropped by a scarab. The 79th is the Barrage Ash of War and is found at Mount Gelma near the Windham Ruins, round the back in a narrow channel. The 80th Ash of War is Skyshot and is dropped by a teardrop scarab found on the cliffs northwest of the isolated merchant shack. The 81st Ash of War is the Enchanted Shot and dropped by a scarab in Knock-on Eternal City. The 82nd Ash of War is Rain of Arrows and is found once you obtain the redmane painting in Salina Town of Sorcery, and made your way down the cliff side near the Minor Erdtree and Khalid. The 83rd Ash is Parry and can be purchased from Knight Branagh in both locations. Golden Parry is the 84th Ash of War and is dropped by a scarab in the capital outskirts. The 85th Ash is Storm Wall and is dropped by a scarab along the path around Stormvale Castle. The 86th Ash of War is the Shell Bash, and dropped by another Scarab under the Eastern Gate Bridge within the lake area. The 87th is the Shield Crash Ash of War, and is dropped by the Scarab in Loux Ruins. The 88th is the Barricade Shield Ash, and is dropped by the Knights Cavalry in the Weeping Peninsula. Trop's Barrier is 89th Ash, and is dropped by a Scarab on an island on the west side of the lake. The 90th Ash of War is the Carian Retaliation, and is purchased of Peter? Pedophile, I mean. It is accessed after you've made your way through Courier Manor. The very last Ash of War, the 91st, is the No Skill Ash, and is purchased from Knight Banal in either location. Alright, so now that you have all the ashes, I'm going to show you where you can find some lost Ashes of War, so you can dupe your fave skills. I think there's about 15 you can find within the lands of Elden Ring. I've probably missed a few, and maybe you guys can list any I might have missed in the comments. So lots can be actually purchased from merchants, which is great. So here are a few locations you can actually find them. You can buy one from the Isolated Merchant's Shack in Weeping Peninsula. Another two can be bought at another Isolated Merchant's Shack in Khalid. There's a merchant at Raya Lucaria, but you'll need to have the Academy Glintstone key first to access. They have one available to purchase. There's the Hermit Merchant in the Unsell River that has one available to purchase. The last merchant, the Imprisoned Merchant located in Mogwin Dynasty, has one available to purchase. The rest of the Lost Ashes are found throughout the world. There's one in Raya Lucaria, One is found in the Ruinstone Precipice, found at the very northern tip of the lake. Another is found at the capital outskirts. One is found in the Sage's Cave in Altus Plateau. There's one to be found in Celia Hideaway and Khalid. Another is located in the royal capital. And underneath the capital in the sewers, there is another near where you can find Dung Eater. Once you get to the mountaintops of the giants, there's another along the bridge where the giant will shoot arrows at you. The last is found at Makila's Halig Tree and is after you get off the branching mess you arrive on, you will have to take the shortcut path to the right to go around and get access to the area. So that's all the Ashes of War and the Lost Ashes in Elden Ring. I hope you guys have enjoyed this guide and found it useful. So please leave a like, comment and subscribe to help boost this channel into YouTube's poopy hole. Anyway, bye!